I drove 3 hours to surprise my girlfriend at her work retreat, only to see her clinking champagne glasses in a robe with her supervisor on the balcony. She didn't see me. I flew home, cancelled her lease renewal, removed her from my credit card, and sent her a calendar invite titled "Goodbye Forever." She showed up crying in my lobby with her suitcase. I told security to escort her off the property. We'd been together almost 3 years. I helped her through the hardest time in her life. Paid off her car when she lost her job. Got her on my health insurance when her mom got cancer. Let her move into my apartment when she couldn't afford rent. I thought we were in it together. But a few weeks before it all blew up, something changed. She started texting with her phone tilted away from me. She smiled at her screen and didn't tell me why. She said work was getting crazy and that her company was sending her to a retreat in Asheville, some leadership training at a lakeside resort. I trusted her. I wanted to believe her. But something didn't feel right. She was too polished. Too rehearsed. I asked questions: who's going, what's the schedule, when will you be back? She answered like she was reading from a card. It's just 2 nights, babe. Presentations all day, networking at night. You'd be so bored. She packed light. Left Friday morning. Kissed me on the cheek. I said, have fun. She said, miss you already. Around 3 p.m. that day, I was still at my desk staring at my screen, not getting any work done. I kept opening and closing my texts with her. No new messages. Just a photo she sent earlier of the lake view. Alone. That was when the idea hit. I had nothing going on that weekend. It was only a 3-hour drive. Maybe a little more with traffic. I thought I'd surprise her. Show up with her favorite snacks, a bottle of Red, make a memory. I didn't tell anyone. I just drove. I got to the resort after dark. It was a high-end place with long gravel roads, private balconies, soft yellow lights glowing from the rooms. I parked around back and walked up through the side trail near the lake. I knew the name of the resort from her booking confirmation. Her company had the whole East Wing. It didn't take long to find her room. I wasn't even planning to snoop, but I heard her laugh. I know her laugh like I know my own breath. I followed the sound. That's when I saw her. 8th floor balcony. She was in a white robe, glass of champagne in hand. She was standing beside a man in a robe too, older, fit, smug look on his face. He was leaning close, whispering something. She was smiling in a way I hadn't seen in weeks. I stayed in the shadows below. I didn't move. Just watched. She clinked glasses with him, giggled, leaned into his arm. He kissed her shoulder. Then they both went back inside. Together. I stood there another 10 minutes, breathing through my teeth. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just turned around and walked back to my car. I drove to Charlotte Airport and caught the last flight home. Didn't even check a bag. When I got home, it was just after 2 a.m. The apartment was quiet, the same one we'd shared for almost 2 years. Her shoes were by the door. Her makeup bag was still on the sink. Her side of the bed had her pillow propped up like she planned to come back. But she wasn't coming back. Not to this life. I didn't sleep that night. I just made plans. I opened the apartment portal and removed her name from the lease renewal. It was up in 3 weeks. I paid the admin fee to cancel her access key remotely. Changed the codes. Done. Next, I went into my Amex account and removed her as an authorized user. That card had been hers to use for groceries and gas. She used it for other things too, I'm sure. No more. Then I went to my phone and deleted every photo of her. Not just the ones of us together. Everything. Trips. Holidays. Her graduation. Gone. Finally, I opened Google Calendar. Made an event for Sunday at 4 p.m. Title, Goodbye Forever. Location, the lobby of our building. I sent it to her work email. Then I blocked her on everything. Phone. Instagram. WhatsApp. Venmo. Email. All of it. She'd have no way to respond. No way to explain. No way to lie. Sunday came. At 3:45, I went down to the lobby and sat in the far corner with my hood up and AirPods in. I kept my phone on airplane mode. I just waited. She showed up at exactly 4:03 p.m. I'll never forget how she looked. She still had on that white robe under her coat, like she came straight from the resort. Her suitcase was with her. Hair was messy, face pale. She looked around in a panic until she saw me. She started walking fast, eyes locked on mine. "Please," she said as she got close, already crying. "It's not what it looked like. Just let me explain." I didn't answer. I just looked at the security guard by the front desk. "She's no longer a resident," I said. "Please escort her out." "What? Are you serious?" "You're doing this now," she said, almost screaming. "I sent you a calendar invite," I said. "You had time to prepare." She started begging. Loud enough that other people in the lobby were turning their heads. Security told her to calm down. She refused. She tried to come toward me. They blocked her. She dropped to her knees. I stayed in my seat. After 5 minutes, they led her outside. She looked back over her shoulder the whole way. I didn't move. Didn't speak. I waited until the door shut behind her, then I stood up, walked back to the elevator, and went home. After she was gone, I figured that was it. But I was wrong. She didn't give up. That same night, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I let it go to voicemail. Then another call. Then 5 more. Different numbers. Some from her sister. One from her mom. Then came the email. She used an old college email I forgot she had. The subject line was one word, "Please." Inside was a message that said, "I messed up. I know I did. But it wasn't what you think. I didn't sleep with him. I swear to God. Please just talk to me. Please. I don't have anywhere to go." I didn't respond. 2 days later, she showed up at my job. I was coming back from lunch, carrying a sub and a soda, and there she was, sitting on the hood of my car in the parking lot. Same suitcase, same coat. She looked like she hadn't slept. "Are you really doing this to me?" she said when I got close. I walked right past her. "Don't ignore me, Matt," she shouted. I didn't say a word. I got in my car and backed out while she stood there crying. I thought that would be the end of it. But it wasn't. She filed a claim with our apartment complex saying I kicked her out unfairly. She said I'd been emotionally abusive. Said she was afraid for her safety. Total lie. The leasing office contacted me for a meeting. I brought them everything. Emails, receipts, even a screenshot of her clinking glasses in that robe. They didn't say much after that. Case closed. Then she went to our mutual friends. Told them I lost my temper. Said I went crazy jealous over nothing. Claimed she had proof that her supervisor was gay, and it was all a misunderstanding. Problem was, her lies didn't line up. She told one friend that he was gay. Another that it was a drunk accident. Another that I fabricated the whole thing. Word got around. She started getting cut off. People stopped responding to her group texts. She posted some long thing on Instagram about being betrayed by people who didn't have the full story. I stayed quiet. Didn't post anything. Didn't fight back. But that just made her louder. She started dating someone new 2 months later. Posted pictures of them at the same lake resort. Same damn balcony. Same robe. I didn't care. Not until I got served papers. She filed for small claims court. Said I owed her money for the remainder of the lease she was forced out of. Claimed I stole her belongings. I was done staying quiet. I pulled together everything. A timeline. Screenshots. Messages. Photos. Even a letter from the leasing office saying she'd been removed legally and with notice. Court date was set. But a week before the hearing, I got another message. This time, it was from her new boyfriend. He sent me a DM, "Hey man, sorry to bother you. But can we talk?" I ignored it. Then he sent another, "I think she's lying to both of us." I waited a day before I replied. Just sent back, "What do you mean?" He responded fast. Said he didn't want to get in the middle, but that he found some stuff. Said Raina had told him I was abusive, that I threw her out for no reason, and that I hacked her accounts and stalked her. But things weren't adding up. He said he saw the champagne photo. He said she told him it was taken out of context, but couldn't explain how or why she was in a robe with her boss. Then he found a flash drive in her bag. I wasn't sure what to believe, until he sent me a photo of what was on it. It was a folder. Named, Conference Weekend. Dozens of photos. Screenshots of texts between her and the supervisor. Reservations for spa treatments. A dinner receipt for 2 at the resort's most expensive restaurant. A hotel room booking, not her assigned one from the company block. A private one. For 2 nights. She'd booked it herself. 3 days before the trip. I asked him why he was showing me all this. He said he felt sick when he found it. That he wasn't going to be the next idiot. He dumped her that night. Told me she tried to gaslight him. Screamed, cried, then accused him of cheating. She spiraled after that. She messaged me again, different email this time. She begged me to drop the court stuff. She said she'd been through enough. Then, 2 days before the court date, she showed up at my building again. This time, she brought her mom. They stood outside the front door, calling up from the buzzer. I watched them through the lobby camera. Her mom looked tired. Like she didn't even want to be there. I didn't answer. Then the real twist came. The day before court, I got a call from my lawyer friend. He'd been helping me prep, just as a favor. He said, "Hey, did you know she used to live with another guy before you? Same situation, moved in, no job, then left him suddenly." I didn't. But he'd found the guy. On a Reddit post of all places. Raina had burned him too. Not the same exact way, but close. Promises, lies, financial damage. Same cycle. I reached out to the guy. We talked for an hour. He was stunned to hear it happened again. She always paints herself as the victim, he said. And people believe her, because she cries like her life depends on it. I printed our chat log. Printed the emails. Printed everything from the new boyfriend too. Court day came. She showed up with a folder full of made-up invoices and a handwritten statement about emotional distress. Her face was tight, eyes red like she'd spent all night rehearsing tears. But she didn't know what I had. When the judge asked me to speak, I laid out everything. Calm. Factual. Just the truth. When I showed the photo of her on the balcony in that robe, she flinched. When I passed around the spa booking and receipts, she turned pale. Then I dropped the final piece, the flash drive folder, with every message between her and her supervisor. She tried to talk. Tried to spin it. But the judge wasn't having it. She lost. Hard. But I didn't stop there. After court, she stormed out without saying a word. She didn't even look back. I stayed in my seat for a while. Just breathing. I thought I'd feel relief. But it was something heavier. Like I'd dragged my own heart through the mud to win. Later that night, I got a call from her old roommate, the one I had tracked down through the guy she'd scammed before me. He told me something that sat in my chest like a brick. "Just so you know," he said, "she pulled the same stuff on her college professor. She got kicked out of her program. Lied about it for years. She's been like this for a long time." That's when I realized something. I hadn't just been a boyfriend. I'd been a stepping stone. A paycheck. A damn fool in line like the rest. So I finished what I started. I sent her job an anonymous tip with the court records and screenshots. Nothing slanderous, just proof of the lies, the fake claims, the affair with her supervisor. The HR team reached out to me 2 weeks later, asking for a formal statement. I gave them everything. She was fired a week after that. Her supervisor too. I heard through a mutual friend she'd moved back in with her mom in Ohio. No car. No job. Nobody left on her side. And me? I thought I'd come out clean. But truth is, I didn't. I lost friends who didn't believe me. Got pulled into legal drama I never wanted. I stopped trusting people. Started second-guessing every little thing. Even good people. I changed after her. I don't date anymore. Not seriously. I sleep with the lights on sometimes. I watch for lies in places where there aren't any. Revenge felt good in the moment. Watching her get dragged down by her own lies. Yeah, it felt fair. But I also became someone I barely recognized to get it done. She broke me. I just made sure she never had the chance to do it again. To me, or anyone else. That was the real ending. Not the courtroom. Not the balcony. But that moment I decided she wouldn't get to rewrite my life. I hit block one last time. And I meant it. A few months passed. The dust settled. My apartment felt different, quieter, cleaner, like it had finally exhaled after holding its breath for too long. Her drawer in the bathroom was empty. Her name was off every bill. Her scent, her voice, her mess, gone. But the damage stuck around. Not in the obvious ways. I still went to work, still grabbed coffee from the same shop down the block. I still smiled at my neighbors. But I was different on the inside. I didn't realize how deep it went until I was out with some friends one Friday night. We were at this brewery in South End. Laughter, drinks, the usual buzz of people just trying to forget the week. And I met someone. She was smart. Kind eyes. Made me laugh, which hadn't happened in a long time. We talked for hours. But when she reached for my hand, I pulled away. Not because she did anything wrong. But because that part of me, the part that trusted, the part that opened up easily, it wasn't there anymore. Raina didn't just cheat. She didn't just lie. She hollowed me out. That was her real revenge, even if she didn't know it. I thought I was the one who got the last word. I thought I took her down. But she took something from me too. It took a long time to admit that. To say I wasn't the hero in this story. Just a guy who got played, got angry, and burned the whole bridge down on his way out. And maybe I had to. But sometimes I still wonder, if I'd driven just a little slower, if I'd waited one more day, if I hadn't looked up at that balcony. Would I have ever known? Would I still be sleeping next to a stranger who smiled like she loved me while building a life with someone else? Would that have been worse? I don't know. But I do know this: the next time I fall in love, I'll keep both eyes open. Because once someone shows you who they really are, you don't get to forget it. And you sure as hell don't get to pretend it didn't happen. Not anymore. 6 months later, I ran into her. Not planned. Not dramatic. Just one of those fluke moments life throws at you to remind you it still has a sense of humor. I was in Raleigh visiting a friend. We stopped at a Target for something stupid, paper towels, I think. I turned a corner near the pharmacy aisle and there she was. Raina. She looked thinner. Pale. Hair shorter, uneven like she cut it herself. No makeup. Hoodie with holes in the sleeves. Eyes sunk deep, like sleep was something she hadn't had in weeks. She saw me. Froze. I didn't say anything. Didn't need to. She opened her mouth to speak but stopped. She just stood there holding a box of tissues and a cheap bottle of shampoo. I nodded once. That was it. Not hate. Not pity. Just, I see you. And I walked past her. That was the real end. No more anger. No more questions. Just silence. She had become a ghost long before that day. That was just the first time I saw her as one. I drove home that night in total silence. No music. No podcasts. Just the hum of the road and the quiet understanding that some people destroy everything they touch, even the ones trying to save them. I wasn't trying to punish her anymore. I was just done. And that was enough.